All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac podcast via the 1010XL podcast platform, 1010XL.com, the 1010XL app. Of course, we are on YouTube, Jaguars YouTube, 1010XL Jaguars YouTube, and all over social media. Wherever you listen or watch your favorite podcast, that's where you can catch this show as well. Brought to you by Team Tommy Mac, just a great group of businesses that are always there for you when you need them. You might not need them right away, but I'm telling you, when you do, they are there for you, and they are the best in their respective industries. They do it right every single time, and I love representing every single one of them. Make sure you check them out at TommyMac.net, and appreciate all that. And if you need their help, they're there for you, man. No question about it. I'm live at Circa Las Vegas, the casino and resort. Beautiful hotel here in Las Vegas. We got here yesterday. Not too bad of a travel day, just a long-ass flight. I got to catch up on Black Rabbit a little bit. I'm going to watch it on the way home, too. I got 3 more episodes to go. It's absolutely a cool show on Netflix. You want to check it out. I was going to do the show with the backdrop being the stadium swim. I put a post out there on Twitter, Meathead55, and on Facebook. I'm right smack dab middle in it, 21st floor. But the sun coming in, you wouldn't be able to see it. But, man, it is unbelievable. This TV screen's like a football field wide. I mean, it's unbelievable. They got all different types of sports, all different types of games going on from boxing to soccer to football and all the way around. Looking forward to watching a Thursday night game tonight. Kicks off at 5 p.m., which is great for an old dude like me. You can ask my younger counterparts last night when I bailed early on him because the old guy got a little too sweepy after a while, but that Vegas, the environment can do that to you. But it's great to be here, great to be alive. Of course, our Jaguars taking on the Vegas Raiders. Sounds weird even saying it, but the Vegas Raiders are, they're 1-5, 2-5. They're coming off a bye as well. They're 1-2 at home. Of course, our Jags 4-3 coming off a bye, and we are 1-1 on the road. So both teams coming off a bye week. I did see where the Raiders made a move to bring in Tyler Lockett, the wide receiver. Now, you may sit there and be like, yeah, you didn't do anything with Tennessee, but he did some great things with Seattle, reunited with Pete Carroll, and, of course, Geno Smith, the quarterback. So will that help them get going? They don't score much, 14.7 points a game. They're not very good on offense. They're not really that good on defense, although they get after the quarterback quite well, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Brock Bowers comes back. He's been on injured reserve or injured list. He comes back healthy. That guy can ruin your day. There's no doubt about it, even with Geno Smith. No offense to Geno Smith. He's had a great career, but take my chances going against him. But if you give him time, he's going to kill you. He's very capable of throwing the ball all over the field. And if you don't get after him, that's going to be a big problem. And I am calling out the D-line. I am. You guys got to get going. Josh Hines-Allen, I heard his interview yesterday, again, self-inflicted. I keep hearing the players saying it. Once the coach says it, the players say it, and they believe it. And it's a nice little trap door that you can always say, well, we beat ourselves. That's not always the case because you definitely hurt yourselves, but you got beat the last 2 weeks because you got beat up front, and that's the reality. And you've got to take care of the front this time around. Their defensive front is a little bit better than their offensive line. Colton Miller's on IR. He's a really good tackle, but he's not there. So we should have a nice field day, although when you look at our stats as an O-line to theirs, they're pretty even. Granted, our last 2 games as an O-line has been atrocious. I mean, the amount of QB hits, the amount of sacks given up and no running game has just been terrible. You've gotten beat at the line of scrimmage the last 2 games out. So that's got to change. We got to make sure that we win the line of scrimmage this week, and we got to make sure that we come with the right attitude. They come off the bye week. It's funny, not everybody was in the bye week. I saw where Eric Armstead will join us Friday on Helmets and Heels live from Vegas. I saw where he stayed in Europe, got some treatment or something, got some rest. I don't know. I just don't know about that whole thing. Like, you should have went home. You can get treatment at home. I don't know. Are you hurt? Are you banged up? It's not vacation time. I think they went on a vacation out there. I really do. And they suffered from it. But the vacation continues for Eric Armstead. We'll see how he plays Sunday. I hope he plays bananas. I mean, listen, it's time for the RD line to wake up. Like Josh Hines Allen. Eric Armstead's got 3.5 sacks. But like I said the other day, he doesn't always show Vamar for the most part. Devin Lloyd, but he's been out. Hopefully we get him back. Foyer's been solid. Now, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of guys haven't had really good years. Well, at least the last couple of games, right? I am looking at Wingard. Like, come on, man. This is you gotta step it up. You can't get beat. Brock Bowers will kill Dewey Wingard if he's not on his game. He might kill him anyway because he's that big and athletic. You're gonna have to figure something out with him. Dewey cannot handle him one-on-one. He can handle him if he's on his reads and he's on his keys and he doesn't take false steps and he can at least, contend for that ball. But Bowers will make you look silly if you're not on your keys. Our O-line, I'm calling them out too. Like, guys, last 2 weeks have been atrocious. Atrocious. I don't care. Listen, I've been told feelings get hurt down in the organization by what I say. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just not. I want you to win more than anybody out there. Well, let me rephrase this. Nobody, and I mean this, nobody wants the Jags to win more than me. I can't say I want them to win more than anybody else. That's not fair. I used to have that moniker when I was playing because the way I trained, extra. I always did. And then my mindset was like, I can't say I train harder than everybody else. You could never say that. But you can say there's no way that somebody trains harder than me. No way. It's kind of the same kind of thing. But we've got to get this O-line back. We got to get them nasty. We got to get them. And ETN's on my notes. Like Travis is still ranked very high in the National Football League. Yards per game, yards per carry. Given the chance, he's been doing it. But we got to get him the ball more. And they know that. And he's had a good year, but we need more of him. Cam Little, like, come on, Cam, kicker. I don't care. I don't care about anything. Make your kicks. That's what you're paid to do, and you're supposed to make your kicks. So until you do, I'm not gonna, get the. I'm gonna start the conversation. I haven't seen the conversation. My man Jacob, man in the fort back at the headquarters here at Las Vegas. Jacob, if there are people commenting, I don't know where I can see that because I don't. Maybe I can just click on comments. There we go. Perfect. There we go. We'll see what happens with that. But look, like I say all the time in the National Football League, every team has enough players to beat you if you're not on your game. There's no doubt about it. And you may sit there and be like, Geno Smith. Geno Smith, when given time, he'll rip you apart. Now, he's hadn't had the best of the year. 7 touchdowns, 10 picks. 19 sacks, he's been sacked. 38 quarterback hits. You want to see a comparison real quick? And we'll do the team stats brought to you by Team Tommy Mac. Our O-line has given up 20 sacks and 46 quarterback hits. Now, keep in mind, the last 2 outings, they gave up 14 sacks and 17, 11, 28 quarterback hits. So think about that. They were at 3 and 18. Now they're at 20 and 46. How quick he can change. It's just unreal. Their O-line has given up 19 sacks and 38 quarterback hits. So about the same. And I don't know how theirs broke down. I do know. I had it written down on an envelope at home. I don't have it with me. But they are at 19 with 38. Now on defense, they have 15 sacks, 31 quarterback hits, and 43 tackles for loss. It's not just linemen, but linebackers included. Now, that's a defense. Now, granted, when I tell you their team stats, you're like, well, that's not very good. They got some old guys playing. Jamal Adams, Devin White, the former Buck. Jamal Adams, who New York Jets, Seattle. He's playing linebacker. You got some old fogies playing for him. Jeremy Chin, who they grabbed from Washington. I think they thought he was going to have a big year. He's their second leading tackler, but no picks. But they can. Listen, if you don't get after him, you're going to have a tough outing. Jacoby Myers, 11.3 yards per catch. He's had 5 big plays down the field, so that's 20 yards, 20-plus yards each play. Who else had that? Trey Tucker. Now, he's got 4 touchdowns. He's another wideout. Little dude, 5'8", Had 3 in the first game, so he's kind of tapered off a little bit, of course. But he averages 13.4 yards per catch, and he's got 5 big plays. So there's 10 right there. I don't know how many we have. I didn't compare with our wideouts, but that just shows you that Geno Smith, given time, can throw the ball down the field and he can make completions. And we know what happens with that. Look, Ashton Genty, he's a solid running back. He's a rookie. He's got, 56 yards a game. No, 64 yards a game. I'm sorry, Ashton. 4 yards per carry. Solid, no doubt about that. Two receiving touchdowns. Now he's only averaging 5 or 6 yards a reception, so it's not like he's going down the field. But nonetheless, he's done a pretty decent job. I know the Bears game he really rocked. He hasn't rocked since then, but he's been okay. He can hurt you too, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, no, this Raiders team is not very good. They're not, but they've got good enough players to beat you. And that's what it comes down to each and every week. And I don't want to hear all this pre-snap. I don't care. To me, it's just excuses now. It is. Oh, we're killing ourselves. No, not the last 2 weeks. They killed it. Maybe they pressured you into all your mistakes. I don't know. But I know Seattle beat the crap. Seattle, really beat you up bad. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like remember when Tommy Morrison got beat up by, who was that? Oh, God, Ray Mercer. Do you remember that? And he got him in the corner, and he was knocked out. I'm still on his feet, going down in the corner, and Ray hit him 4 more times. Tremendous shots to the face. I don't know if Tommy Morrison ever got over that, but that's how Seattle beat us up, I think, on their game. They punched us into oblivion, and we had no answer. I don't think the Rams did as much, but they had the same kind of strategy. Hey, let's be physical and let's see what they can do. So we got to get back to that. I know Liam. I know where he's from. I know that's a tough Massachusetts, a tough, all that stuff. He's got to get this team playing tough again. They haven't played tough the last 2 weeks. They haven't, and you can give me all the reasons and all the excuses you want in the book. I don't really care. I'm really tired of the excuses. So just win, baby. I know we're playing the Raiders. Just win, baby. It does seem weird with the Raiders being in Vegas. I mean, going to Oakland in '96 was unbelievable. I mean, I'd never been there before. And I always loved the Raiders growing up. I was a big, big fan of Matt Millen. I loved Matt Millen, their middle linebacker. Howie Long, these guys, just insane. I loved watching the Raiders. Marcus Allen, all of them. They were fantastic during their prime. I would have loved to play for the Raiders in the 80s. L.A., Oakland, whatever it was, L.A., Oakland, L.A. But, oh, man, that was quite the team. I've always been a fan of the Raiders. We went out there to 96, and the veterans are like, yo, T-Mac, keep your helmet on, man. Keep your helmet on the whole game, because they'll throw batteries. They'll throw full beers at you. They don't care. They'll get after you. We ended up losing that game 17-3. I remember it. And it was a tip ball. And Jerry Ball, who was 300 plus pounds, picked it out of the air at the 30, and nobody caught him. I mean, he ran it all the way back for a score. It was not a good outing for us. It was early in the year. I think it made us 1-2. But I tell you what, when you walked out to the Oakland Coliseum and the fans, I mean, they're just right here as you're coming right out of the locker room and tunnel. And then they start playing Hell's Bells from AC/DC, and the hair's going up. But you're like, oh, my gosh, it's going to be incredible. But nonetheless, they are in Vegas. And it's not like Lauren Brooks was saying on Helmets and Heels during the week. She's been to a game there. It's not like, this flood of, local Raider fans. There'll be plenty of fans there, but they haven't overtaken it yet. So hopefully we have a good contingent. I hear we do have some people coming out. We are having a party here at Circa tomorrow night. I think it's 6 to 7, but it'll go on for whatever. If you want to come over to the Circa, if you're not staying here, there's a great pool. You got to pay to get in. I think it's $20, something like that. But it's absolutely phenomenal. I'll be out there. Just please say hello if you come in. I love talking to everybody, and it's good to do that. But this is a big game, and we all know it. Look, I'm not going to say. I know Hayes Carline said it early in the week on 1010 that if the Jags don't win this game, it's just going to, dissolve and, unravel, whatever. I don't totally believe that because it's the NFL. And I mean, you go back to that 96 season, there were times where we looked terrible and then we figured it out and you go on a run and you sneak in and then it doesn't matter how you got to the playoffs as long as you get there. So I'm not going to say this is do or die, but a win today would get you back on track, would just get you back into that momentum of winning. Not getting beat at the line of scrimmage, not making all these mental errors and mistakes, not, doing things, like not getting pressure on a quarterback, being out of position in the secondary, all that kind of stuff. Like we got to get back to that fundamental football. And I agree with what Liam's saying there. Like you got to go back to that basics and really work on technique and attitude and all that. I agree with that 100%. And then the rest is mental. So, there should be no mistakes. I mean, we're in week 9? I mean, this is the shit that went on last year that drove me up the wall. And everyone would make an excuse. Oh, it's the coaching. Oh, it's the coaching. Oh, blamed everybody but the player. Not all of you, but a lot of you did. You're like, no, you don't know because you just never done it. But when I'm a player and I get a play call and I get, I know that it's going to be in the game plan and I know I got to know it, then I know it. And that's it. That's my job to know it. It's not my job to not study hard enough and then just wing it out there, like not being able to line up or lining up over the line of scrimmage or throwing the ball over the line of scrimmage, whatever it may be. Like those things don't happen if you're a true professional, right? You're ready all the time. You know everything. But remember, last year's the same crap. So hopefully that's not the case this year. I'm not trying to say this year's last year. We're a better team. I do believe that. But it is the players. The players have to do it. They can only do so much. And I know you fans, you get all upset when the coach is like, look, we get them ready. We get them ready. We call the play. If they don't execute the play, my hands are out of it. And they are. There's only so much you can do. Now, you can bench them. I agree with that. Because that's, as I said before, that's an embarrassing thing. You bench those guys. I know Jimmy Smith said that about, Brian Thomas and other pass catchers that are dropping the ball. Just bench them. Now, you got to have an owner that's okay with that, right? You got to have an owner in Shad Khan and say, hey, Shad, I know we're giving these guys whatever, money, whatever the contract is, but I got to sit them because they're not doing the job. Some owners will be like, no, you're not. You got to play them. You're not sitting them. Give them more time. Give them more, you know what I mean? Because they're investing all that money in. That's where the politics come in. But if Shad's like, hey, Liam, Tony, James, whatever, you guys got it. It's an open canvas. You can do whatever you need to do to get that done. So, hopefully that's the case, that they can figure that out and get that done so we can have this great season. And it's still all there for the taking. It is. We got plenty of football left, 10 games left, good time for the bye. A good time to reflect. I don't know about traveling to Europe, whatever. He's a veteran. He's going to do whatever he wants, Eric Armstead. If he comes to Vegas and kicks ass, send him next week to Europe. I don't care. Like, go take a trip again. As long as you play on Sunday, your ass off, and you're winning more than you're losing, and you're dominating from time to time, and you're disruptive more times than not, I don't care what you do. It doesn't matter. It's also like the guy that, look, if you don't make mental errors and you've done your study, you don't have to kill yourself studying. You got the game. You got it down. You know what you're doing. Then you can go relax. You can do whatever. Maybe have a refresher before, the night before the game. You're just going through your game plan, which everybody does. But once you know it and it's embedded, you don't have to go crazy doing extra stuff, but you have to get to that minimum of knowing everything. And there's no excuse for any of it. Biting on the run fake, being out of position, lining up wrong, illegal motion, illegal formation, all that stuff. So that's, that I know a lot of people want to blame, but it's really the player you should look at. And hopefully the players this week have come together and said, hey, and one thing I will say about self-inflicted and inflicted in that, you do control your fate as an NFL team. You do, especially if you're a team that's good enough to be in the running. And we are at 4-3. There's no doubt about it. I don't know how good. I don't know how bad yet. I just think we're okay. I don't think we're anything special. I think it was great that we beat San Fran, but they were not a full team. So you got to put an asterisk next to that. KC, that was a fair win. So we beat them. I think, they have turned it around. I mean, look, here's a common thread. We all know this. We beat KC 31-28, right? Well, KC beats the Raiders like last week 31-0. 31-0. So I think the Chiefs are still going to be a tough team when it comes down to it. But we've got to be there too. That's why this game is so important. That's why this game, and it's all just for that, getting back to winning, feeling that, look what we did to turn it around from the 2 losses that were embarrassing to a victory. Granted, it's not a good team, so whatever, but you got to beat them. You got to beat them. And if I hear self-inflicted, if you don't beat them, I don't know what I'm going to do. My head's going to explode. Right, because here we go with the damn excuses again in Jacksonville, which I don't agree with. I don't like any of the excuses. You win, you lose. It's black and white. There's no this or that, right? Catch the ball. Throw the ball in the right spot every time. Make your blocks, make your tackles, beat your guy in front of you. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I don't care if we're talking high school, college, or pro. I'm going to beat this guy, right? I'm a middle linebacker. Who am I going against? That back. It's a fist fight between me and him. Are there other variables? Yeah, it's a rumble, but I'm going after him. I'm seeking and destroying that son of a gun because I just want to hurt him. I want to hurt him all day long. I want him to know that I'm going to hit him as many times as I can, and that's what we need. And I think we have that with some of the guys, but we got to bring that back. Campanelli, you got to call a great game. You do. Liam Cohen, you got to call a great game. Liam's been iffy to me. I'm sorry, he has. I think he gets a little too – I think a lot of offense coordinators do. They get too cute, too smart. They want to, be these wizards and that type of thing. Just go with what works. You know what works as a fan. What works for our offense? Does running up the gut with ETN work for our offense? No. Does running off tackle work for our offense? Yeah, more times than not. That trap off tackle. Absolutely. Okay, so we got the running game, right? We want outside the tackle or outside that shoot. We can occasionally come inside and then bust it outside, but for the most part, we're working off the tackles, in my opinion. You want to take Tootin in between the guards? Fine. Nobody runs through the A-gaps. The D linemen are too big. I mean, even Derrick Henry's not going to just plow through a 2 A-gaps that are plugged like 2 defensive tackles and linebackers. It's not going to happen. Get him off tackle where the angle is different. We can stiff arm. We can put his shoulder down, not just straight ahead, then and meeting that force. That's when, he's most effective. So get him outside. Okay, so we know that works. Passing game. What works in the passing game? The out route for sure. All day long. And I don't care who Trevor's throwing it to. Diami, BTJ, Travis, Parker. They've all done it, right? That it's a 10-yard, 7-10 yard shoot, 90-degree angle, right to the sideline, right as I turn, ball should be outside, and normally it is. Boom. First down. Let's go. Or close to a first down. That's a bread and butter play. Quick slant. Trev's good on the quick slant. He is. That safety or linebacker never gets over there quick enough to really make if it's thrown on time. Got to put it right on his numbers or in front of him, but that's a pretty good play. The dig, right? So the dig is vertical, 45-degree like I'm going to go post, then wall it off at 90. It's about 17, 18 yards. Against zone, it hasn't been good because he throws it into coverage. But against man, it's been very good, and he can do that all day long. That's one of his better throws down the middle in between the numbers. Okay, what aren't good throw? What aren't good pass plays? I think we do too many bubble screens. On occasion, it's fine. I like the screen game with the running backs. But again, like I've said many times on helmets and heels, you got to have a running game for that to work. Or linebackers just sniff it out every time. It'll be too easy. The deep ball we have not been good at. We have not been good at the deep ball. But I don't want to quit trying. I think we need to keep trying those shots. Then close. I think sometimes the ball's thrown late. It hangs in the air. How about some completions where they're not having to stop and make a catch? There's a 7 route, right? So they call it a corner route. Same thing, right? So I'm going vertical, and then I'm going 45 degrees. Sometimes I'll curve it off or I'll wall it off, but I'm going to the sideline. How many times does our receiver or tight end have to kind of turn into the ball? It's never like if I'm running, I go out and it's here and I turn up the field. It's never like that. It's I got to turn, I got to jump, I got to make this catch. I don't know what the deal is with that. It shouldn't be that difficult to make that throw and catch. But that's not one of their better plays. So there are bread and butter plays that work. And though I just called out like 5 or 6. I can't just do those. You got to mix it up. I get that. But those are the ones that work. And the job of the offensive coordinator, which is our head coach, is to get this offense in a rhythm, get his quarterback into a rhythm, get his quarterback comfortable. And then it's up to the QB, no doubt. The coach can only do so much. He can only do so much. It's going to come down to Trevor and really turning this game on. Last week was not good for 16. I don't think the last 2 weeks were that good. He's been okay. Obviously, Kansas City was fantastic, at least the last drive was fantastic. But he's got up his game, big time. Trevor has got to be on point. O-line's got to give him some time, running room. Players got to catch the ball, no doubt about that. The coordinator, play caller's got to call the right plays, but that QB has got to be better. He's got to be better. I don't care about the drops. I've got a theory on that. I don't know if it's true or not. All I know is every time they go out for a pass, and not every time, that out pattern, I think they're pretty comfortable. But it always feels like they don't know where that ball's going to be. Like on a completion even. It's never like consistently in the right spot, except that out pattern, it seems to be. A slant is pretty good too. I got to give them that. But that they don't trust that it's going to be in the right spot. So then they don't know where it's coming in, if it's coming in out. I heard Denny Thompson talking about lately his ball's been dropping, like the velocity's come down. Is that an injury to the shoulder? He's not putting his body into it? I don't know. But it's going to be down to 16. It's going to be down to what? Our best players. Quarterback, Josh Hines-Allen, ETN, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, right? We got Aluakin, no doubt. Jordan Lewis. I'd like to say Winger, but Winger's taken a step back this year lately. 2 games. I don't like it. I think he's way more capable of playing better. So we'll leave it for that. But he's got to have a big game. Trayvon Walker. Hopefully you get the thumb. You don't have the thumb. It's hard to play well at that position, but hopefully you can. But we need him. Our O-line, Ezra Cleveland. Ezra, you've been badass, but lately you haven't. Got to get back to that. Walker Little, you just got to keep fighting. And Anton, you guys just lately haven't been good. So you got to come together. Hainsey back for another game will be good. That'll be helpful, no question about it. So can they win? Yes, they can win. We give up. We'll go through the team stats in just a minute. Jacob, I'm going to need about 10 more minutes if you don't mind. But we'll go through the team stats. And when you look at the team stats, we should definitely beat this team. Again, any given Sunday, so anything can happen. But we are a better team, and we should come out of this 5-3. And if we don't, there's going to be hell to pay. It's not going to be hell to pay. But, it's just going to be awful. Here we go again. Here we go with the same stuff. So hopefully that changes. Hopefully they clean it up. It's a clean game on both sides of the ball, and they win the line of scrimmage. Can we get back to winning the line of scrimmage, or at least controlling? I think we can. All right, let's get into some team stats as we wrap up. Catch up with Tommy Mac. Brought to you by Team Tommy Mac. TommyMac.net, please, if you would check them out. Carpet Man Flooring, the best, LVP, and more. Crystal Sales Bail Bonds, get out of jail quick. 904-822-2245. Got Florida, Georgia this weekend. Put that number in your phone. 904-822-2245. You may need it. Hopefully you don't, or your friend will. You never know. Morgan & Morgan, the largest personal injury law firm. Pound Law, that's all. We know them. J-Dog, Junk Removal and Hauling. You see them everywhere now. They're doing a fantastic job. They help families in need, veteran families in need, and they'll come and clean out that construction debris for you. No question about that. JDog.com. Azar Sausage, love them. Best in the biz. Best sausage, 4th generation. Right in Jacksonville. Code Ninjas. Had my Code Ninjas shirt on yesterday as I traveled. 5 great locations. AI, security, all tech that your kids need. Make sure you check it out at codeninjas.com. Freedomfinance.llc. That's my man, Courtney Myers, for all your fractional CFO needs. bookkeeping, fundraising, whatever the case may be financially. Your startup, early stage, looking to grow. Courtney Myers and his team is the man. FreedomFinance.LLC. Newmark Phoenix Realty Group, number one in the commercial real estate world. PhoenixRealty.net. I've known them forever. They're great. They will take care of all your needs and will find you the right solutions in commercial real estate. Rick O'Connor's Allstate Insurance Agency. Rick's a good dude, and he does a great job. Did a great job for me and my family. His son, Zach, came up with a nice quote. Took care of all of our auto policies. Saved me a bunch of money. Just go get your free estimate. They're in St. John's, St. Aug, and in Jacksonville. Rick O'Connor's Allstate Insurance Agency. Family Tradition Specialty Foods, home of Coconut Joe's Hot Sauces. Family Traditions Specialty Foods.com. Check them out. Salt Air Inn and Suites, a great boutique hotel in Atlantic Beach, 4 blocks from the ocean, 2 blocks from the action. I've sent so many people there. Go check them out for a night, for the weekend. You're in town in Jags, you want to come in for Vegas and party? Yeah, go to Salt Air Inn and Suites. And, of course, the Baracus Group, handling all your security needs, home, business, and while you travel. That's right, bgsjax.com. 1010XL Studios. I love being a part of 1010XL family. And please check it all out at TommyMac.net. You'll see this show there as well. Okay, let's go to team stats. I mentioned the points, so they're not very good. Let's start with the penalties because we're not very good. The Raiders have 45. We have 65. Got to get cleaned up. That's been terrible, and we know it. Points, we score 21. We give up 22. They score 15 and give up 26. Come on. You tell me we can't beat this team? I'm telling you, you're crazy. Of course we can. Yards per carry, 4.7, and ETN's still at 5.3 for our Jags. So that's very good. Our run defense at 3.9. It's good. Their run defense at 4.0, so pretty close in that regard. And they're at 3.9 yards per carry. Genty at 4.0. And Mostert, who was with San Fran then Miami. I didn't know he was on their team, but he's also doing the return game. He's explosive. Now, he hasn't had a lot of carries, but you better be careful for him because he can get going a bigger back with a ton of speed. No question about it. Yards per attempt, Trevor's at 6.3 at 59% completion percentage. Drops, I know, but terrible. I mentioned that Geno Smith at 7 yards per attempt at 66%. Better, not fan. Well, that's good. Yeah, anything over 65 these days, I think, is pretty good. Our defense giving up 6.9 attempt. They give up 7.1, about the same. We're at 62% completion percentage. They're at 67, so we're a little bit better on the back end. Let's see. Third down, we're at 33% on offense. Absolutely horrific. That's fucking terrible. I'm sorry, it is. Defense at 38, just over 38%. That's okay. Should be a little lower, but it's okay. Their offense, not very much better. They're at 38% conversion rate. Their defense is at 45, so we should convert some third downs against the Raiders. On Sunday, fourth down, we're 8 of 15 on offense, 4 of 7 on defense. They're 5 of 11, and then 6 of 8, pretty close. I mentioned the sacks, the QB hits already. They get after the QB. 43 tackles for loss. We have 24. Think about that. Who's in the backfield more? They are, by far. We have way more interceptions at 10. Geno throws 10, so maybe there's a connection there. We should get a pick or two. I might have my daughter put on some anytime touchdowns for our defense, see if they can pick up a ball and score, pick it off and score. Maybe Winger's due for one. He's had a couple picks early. Time to pick off Geno Smith there, Dewey. And I'll still call you Dewey if you do that. Okay? Cool. Let's see. Interceptions. We've thrown 5. They only have 3. Wow. It's not many for a team that gets after the quarterback. We're at +8 on the turnover margin. They're at -5. So we should win that battle as well. Brought to you by my good friends at Team Tommy Mac. So again, this is a game that you got to win. Would or should, you just gotta find a way to win, I told you my old 8th grade coach, Ken Dunleavy from St. Mary's of Buffalo Grove, we'd play this Catholic school called Francis Borgia. We never lost to him. We hardly lost to anybody, but we never lost to them. We'd always kill him. In my 8th grade year, I'll never forget, he's like, you just don't lose to Borgia. You just don't lose to Francis Borgia because you're the better team. We're the better team going in to Van Point, like the stadium's right here. It's not. But here in Vegas, we're a better overall team. Without question. So what do you do with that? You go and win. Must win? whatever. It's a gotta win. Okay? Doesn't mean your season's over. I don't believe in that because you got to go to Houston and take care of Houston. You're still in the running. But win this game. Win this game. Take care of Houston. Now you're 6-3, sitting pretty with the Chargers coming to town. That's what I'm talking about. Don't be 5-5. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it is. So let's go. Let's go win this game for your fans, for the city, for yourselves, for your own, just having that feeling of everything we worked for brought us a victory. And then we can roll that into next week. And then the week after. It's called momentum, right? Let's find some momentum, Jags, by beating the Raiders in Vegas on Sunday. Thank you all for checking it out. I appreciate you, all the support, all the love. Nobody wants this team win more than me, but I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass, and I'm not sugarcoating nothing. So let's win this game, win it the right way, and let's take care of business in Las Vegas. Fly him in Saturday, Coach. Don't let him hang out in Vegas. Fly him in, play the game, and get the hell back home because that's the job, and that's what we do. Until next time, stay safe. Be cool. Be cool. Stay safe, man. We'll see you. We'll be back at home. Yes, we will. Don't forget, tomorrow, I will be on Jaguars today. I'm calling in from Vegas, so I'll be on the show. We'll go tail of the tape. We'll go picks. We'll do the whole thing. It'll be great. Take a little bit of a break, and then it's helmets and heels time from the cabana, one of the cabanas at the pool at the Stadium Club. It's going to be absolutely rocking. If you want to see what the Stadium Club pool looks like, check out my Twitter page at Meathead55. And you'll see it all there. All right, big day ahead, big day tomorrow covering our Jags, and hopefully they can come away with a victory on Sunday against the Oakland Raiders. Y'all have a great day out there. We'll see you next time right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack. Peace and love. Thank you.